But anyway, the lights are lighting up for the 2016 Japanese Grand Prix, and it's underway to the left hand side of me, and there's a massive crash up ahead. There is dust flying, both Red Bulls have spun off, and yellow flags have been deployed. Probably the luckiest guy in all of that, nearly 5 wide into the first corner. Verstappen goes off, tags Rosberg. Luckily for Rosberg, Ricciardo is there to stop Rosberg spinning all the way round. Sure, he's close behind us, but he's at an impossible angle. Fortunately, doesn't take me out, but takes out Perez. And on the soft tyres, and Kvyat has been taken out in dramatic fashion. Nasser, he has impressed, I think, everyone up and down the paddock so far. Nasser in the Sauber. Sure, Sauber, they bought a couple of upgrades heading into this Grand Prix, but where's Ericsson? Absolutely nowhere. Even an upgraded Sauber can't really contend with a Mercedes, and actually Hamilton has spun around Nasser. I mean, the soft tyres, I'm trying to stretch these soft tyres because look at the clouds, it's due to rain any second now, but we've got a puncture. I have taken 5th place, but at the cost of Valtteri Bottas. As we can see, his engine's gone, and he was going to get 2nd place, and that is essentially any hope of Williams winning the Constructors' Championship gone. But Nico Rosberg, when the rain fell, that timing of the rain falling worked beautifully for him, as he's going to win the Japanese Grand Prix. But either way, 4th place. Good damage limitation considering everything that's happened this Grand Prix.
This is Formula One.
Right then guys, it's PSL here, and I'm here for part 17 of my F1 2016 Williams career mode. And after what was a very mixed Japanese Grand Prix, we're here for the American Grand Prix. And as you can see, Mercedes, even though we're dangerously close to the 2017 season, Mercedes have bought 3 upgrades heading into this Grand Prix. They've now got the fastest car once again, so Mercedes, while I don't think this ever really needed pointing out, Mercedes, we've got to watch out for them. Ferrari, they've now got the 2nd quickest car on the grid, and Williams, we've still got the 3rd quickest car, quite a bit quicker than Red Bulls, but also slower than Ferraris, and more importantly, our main championship contenders, Mercedes. And with all of that out of the way, and just a quick note, I'm back up to Ultimate AI for this Grand Prix, so with all of that said and done, it's on to the qualifying report at the Circuit of the Americas. Qualifying for the American Grand Prix was woeful for the Haas team, as at their home race they were the 2 slowest in qualifying, with Gutierrez just beating Grosjean. Both Renaults and Manners found themselves eliminated as well, with both Manor drivers ahead of Jolyon Palmer but just behind Kevin Magnussen. Q2 ended with much the same sort of results. Both Toro Rossos were the slowest, with both Sauber drivers in between both Force India drivers. Bottas, Raikkonen and Vettel all narrowly avoided elimination, but qualified on the softs, so should have the advantage on race strategy. The previous eliminations left 5 teams to take to the pole position shootout, in which Kimi Raikkonen and Daniel Ricciardo were the slowest in that top 10. The other thin and soft tyre starter, Valtteri Bottas, took 8th, with Fernando Alonso in 7th. Next is a 3rd row with a combined age that is the same as Kimi Raikkonen's, as the 2 teenagers of Max Verstappen and Nathan Quinn will line up 5th and 6th respectively. It's an all-English 2nd row in which, astonishingly, Jenson Button beat the reigning champion Lewis Hamilton. And finally, it's an all-German front row with Nico Rosberg in 2nd and Sebastian Vettel on pole position. Right then guys, so here we are on the race strategy screen, and as you can see, a 2-stop strategy as per usual is predicted for this race. No rain, amazingly, despite the fact it's due to be overcast for the entirety of it. I mean, it's certainly overcast at the moment. So qualified in 6th, realistically the best we could do. I mean we should have beaten Verstappen, but it's a front 2 rows dominated by Mercedes and Ferrari, And Ferrari, you know, they've got raw speed, but they're not really in contention for the championship this season. Mercedes, though, are, and to qualify on the front two rows ahead of me, ahead of Verstappen, you know, I've got some traffic to get through before I can even consider beating them. But anyway, the 2016 American Grand Prix is underway, and Vettel is really bogged down at the start there, so Sebastian Vettel could lose the race lead already. He's already been swamped by both Mercedes and I think Jenson Button. Meanwhile, going around a very tight first corner. Sebastian Vettel is at the back, he has spun off, there is chaos behind. Meanwhile, I'm trying to hang it around the outside of Nico Rosberg, and I've just about been able to do that. So, just taking a really tight line into the first corner. Lots of the cars pushed out wide, and there you go, I'm up into second place. So, well, here's what happened from Sebastian Vettel. So, really slow initial getaway. And then, so as you can see, he's got Jenson Button to his left. There's also both Mercedes off to the left-hand side that we can't see. So Vettel's forced off the track. And then I think he gets tagged by someone behind. And, well, he's going to have to let everyone go through. And that is Sebastian Vettel from first to last in a corner. So that's just unfortunate. Valtteri Bottas, he was starting directly behind me. He's got Fernando Alonso off to his right-hand side. There's also, of course, Max Verstappen. So we're off to the left. So Bottas is now in between Verstappen, and he is actually the one who tagged Sebastian Vettel. And as you can see there, Marcus Ericsson did brilliantly out of that. I mean, Marcus Ericsson, this is a guy who qualified in 13th position, even behind his teammate, but just perfected the start. I mean, his initial start was reasonable, but he did something which not many other people did, apart from myself really, and a couple of others, was take a tight line into that first corner. He was able to easily get past a load of people, and unfortunately for him, a couple of cars tangling backed up everyone behind, and he was in clean air. So he moved up from 13th to 7th, I believe he's in. He's, you know, around there. So he's done well for himself. I mean, so have I, to be fair, to come from 6th to 2nd, in between Hamilton and Rosberg. But as you can see, I'm about 3 seconds both behind the car in front and ahead of the car behind. So I'm not making any progress at all. I mean, I'm not dropping back, but I'm not gaining. This was a stagnant part of the race, really. Lewis Hamilton did come into the pits, so thankfully, just to instill some kind of action into this Grand Prix. So Lewis Hamilton's coming into the pits, which means I've taken the lead of the Grand Prix. That's, of course, very temporary, though, because I imagine he's doing the same strategy as me. At the very least, he's got the undercut, and as we've seen many times this season already, the undercut is a very effective way to gain positions, or just to, you know, maintain the position you've got. So Jolyon Palmer, Lewis Hamilton obviously exited the pits, and Jolyon Palmer just got tangled with that man there, Pascal Wehrlein, and he got spun around. I'm amazed there's no damage to Palmer's car, because it looks perfectly fine, but what started off as just, you know, a minor loss of control meant he was facing the wrong way a few seconds later. So it looked like Sebastian Vettel, oh yeah, I mean, you have to say that was Palmer's fault, really. Maybe not the initial contact with Wehrlein, but certainly trying to rejoin the track at that sort of angle when you've got a train of cars behind you. Yeah, I mean, it's without sounding harsh, he kind of got what he deserved. But anyway, meanwhile, Nico Rosberg really was going slowly, as proven by the fact that Kimi Räikkönen, and Kimi's on the soft tyres, Kimi passed Nico. So, you know, something's going on with Rosberg. He should be quicker than me, but he isn't. He should be much quicker than Räikkönen, but he isn't. He dropped back about 6 seconds from his teammate, so something happened. As you can see, our pit engineer, he just said there that Nico Rosberg did have a problem with his car, and it's been fixed. I would have shown you the message that Rosberg had a problem, but that bit of the video got corrupted. So, yeah, that is why Rosberg was going slow, was purely because of some kind of issue which he had, which has now been fixed. Which was good, because I was noticeably slower than Hamilton, so Rosberg would have easily done me. So it's a good thing that that happened, especially as I'm competing with Rosberg in the Drivers' Championship. And exiting the pits now, just got to find our way through some traffic. There's Sebastian Vettel, who's essentially a pit stop down on us, actually. I mean, the race really has not gone well for him. Let's be real right now. I mean, I've come into the pits. I'm in 14th. I mean, Sebastian Vettel, he's on the soft tyres, so he will be going a long way into the race, but so's Carlos Sainz, so's the Manners, so's the Renaults, and he's behind all of them. And, well, I mean, speaking of being behind Carlos Sainz, I'm now ahead of him, so up into 13th place, and just got Kevin Magnussen to get past, which is relatively easily to do. And Gutierrez, oh, that was, yeah, that was an aggressive move from me. I mean, I think Gutierrez, he didn't leave us the room, but how could he realistically expect me to try and make a move anyway? But doesn't matter, because we got through it relatively cleanly. Now it's the other Haas of Romain Grosjean. Both Haases had no pace in qualifying, started down at the back. Unfortunately for them, though, they're actually right up behind NASA, and you know, Sauber, they bought a lot of upgrades recently, and Sauber are actually relatively competitive. Although I'm saying all that, but they're behind Verline, so I don't really know what's going on at the moment. But anyway, I'm up into 10th, 9th, 8th, maybe even potentially 7th place. There you go, 7th place. Jumped to lots of people there who were either in the pits or just much slower down the start-finish straight. So I'm in 7th, that doesn't really mean anything. Lewis Hamilton, unsurprisingly, he's ahead, setting the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. And there you go, I've just gone and beaten his fastest lap while getting past Daniel Kvyat. So I'm in 6th place. Hamilton is ahead. Rosberg's behind. As we saw, as I was exiting the pits, Rosberg came in the same lap. He's behind. Those are the only certainties right now. So, I mean, Rosberg's behind. He's in 17th. How would he do that? I mean, Verstappen is ahead. Button is... How has he managed that? That is, wow. Rosberg, I mean, he's stuck in traffic. That's why he's in 17th and why I'm in 5th. I understand that he's stuck in traffic, but how did Verstappen get by? And Button? Unless they had got the undercuts? I don't know, but I mean, Rosberg, not only has he got to contend with those guys, he's also in a massive train. Valtteri Bottas is just coming out of the pits, another soft tyre starter. And you may have noticed there, it flashed up briefly, yep, there you go, he's fitted on the medium tyres. So Bottas, he's done one set, or he's done a stint on softs, and now he's doing a stint on mediums. So Bottas is doing a one-stop strategy. I didn't even think that was possible, but he's miles behind me, but he won't be stopping again. So that we've got to watch out for him. And same for Kimi Raikkonen, he should be somewhere in the mix. Sebastian Vettel would have been if he didn't spin out at the first corner of the first lap. And I mean, right now, things are going relatively well. I mean, the only person ahead of me who matters is Lewis Hamilton. Everyone else are soft tyre starters, such as typically both Force Indias. Of course, it's Force India who's going to be taking hard tyres a long way into the race. That's just what they do. I mean, Sergio Perez, we've done 13 laps, and he's only just coming into the pits. 13 laps, he's done just under half the race distance on the soft tyres. Like, that's an achievement. But there you go, finally, about 8 laps after I've pitted, I've finally worked out where I am. I'm in 2nd place, quite a way behind Hamilton, but I'm ahead of Raikkonen. That's good, but Raikkonen, he's on the medium tyres. Let's not forget, he's doing the same thing as Bottas. They will not be stopping again. So that's good. Here's what's going on further down the field. Gutierrez, he's got Button behind, he's got Nico Rosberg, as we can see, behind, and Max Verstappen. So Rosberg, what's good for him is that he's passed Verstappen. What isn't good is that the train which I cleared, within about a lap, Rosberg is still in. I mean, that's just abysmal. I mean, he's just gotten past Gutierrez, to be fair to him. He's still behind Jenson Button. He's way down the field. I mean, even if he's in a high position, like a high track position, he's lost about 20 seconds to me. I'm not going to see him for the rest of the race, purely because he's been stuck in with Renaults and Manners and Haases, etc. And then Lewis Hamilton coming into the pits. Unsurprisingly, I'm going to do a lap more. I mean, I kind of have to at this point, really, because I came in a lap later in the first place. But Lewis Hamilton exiting the pits. Kimi Raikkonen has got by, so that's someone for Hamilton to contend with. But I think Hamilton, yep, he's got out ahead of Valtteri Bottas. So worst case scenario, Hamilton's going to finish third, because that's where he is. He won't be stopping again. He's got quicker, fresher tyres than Raikkonen. Speaking of quicker, fresher tyres, I don't have either of those on right now. No grip. I mean, Raikkonen, I was about 2 seconds ahead of Raikkonen starting that lap. Well, that gap was decimated to essentially nothing. So I'm coming into the pits. Raikkonen's got by, Hamilton's got by. I mean, he well and truly beat me by lap 6. I mean, Hamilton is not the guy I'm concerned about right now. Bottas and Raikkonen, though, I am. Verstappen's also got by, but I assume he'll be having to come into the pits again. Same for Jenson Button. It's not the same for Perez. He's on the medium tyres. He's doing the same thing as Raikkonen and Bottas. And I think, Daniel Ricciardo, he's on the mediums. I don't quite know what strategy he's doing, but to be fair, I think we'll get past Ricciardo with relative ease. So at the moment, I'm in 8th place. Button and Verstappen will be pitting again. Ricciardo, I got by right now. Pretty academic for Williams to get past a Red Bull in 2016. But, yeah, I mean, I think what it shows is that the fact that the super soft runners, we all had to pit lap 5, 6, 7. We pitted so early that, much like in a few Grand Prix, I think the Spanish Grand Prix, I know the Australian Grand Prix definitely had it in this season. That's one of those races where if you qualify in the quickest tyres, you have to pit so early in a 50% race, which means you get stuck in with the slower cars, which is exactly what happened to Rosberg. That ruined his race. It's exactly what's happened to Verstappen and Button, and they're not going too great right now. So Hamilton's won this race. He's got past Raikkonen. That's easy. Raikkonen and Bottas won't be stopping again. Verstappen will. Perez, Vettel. Vettel has actually recovered quite well. I mean, he's just behind Perez. So Vettel has done really well considering he was in last, but Verstappen's fitted on the super softs. So this almost deja vu. It's almost it's like the German Grand Prix. He's going to be a way back, but going quickly. Meanwhile, this is what's happening behind me. We saw I got past Sergio Perez. Sebastian Vettel, he qualified on pole position. He was the quickest guy in qualifying. He may have been down in 20 seconds, but I think the fact of the matter is his confidence hasn't been dented. He's still got the raw speed. He's clawed his way essentially back up to the same track position that I'm in. He's a few seconds behind me, got past Perez. Vettel is one to watch out for. Amazingly, I never thought I'd say that. And here's something I was expecting to say though this Grand Prix. That is another engine failure for a Toro Rosso, a Ferrari engine gone once again. That's the thing I find staggering, is why Ferrari engines always seem to go in this game and why it's always Toro Rosso. I know it's mainly my career mode, it's not a thing in the game as a whole, but it's just a weird trend. And then more concern behind, I was pulling away from Vettel slightly. Verstappen, though, he's got by, and Verstappen, he's on the super softs. His tyres are much quicker than mine, they're much newer, they're much fresher. He was quicker than me in qualifying. This is a recipe for disaster. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point how far up the road I am, because well, look, there he is. I mean, he was, Verstappen was about 6 seconds behind, with about 3 laps left to go. 3 laps left to go, he was 6 seconds behind. This is the last lap of the Grand Prix. Half a lap left to go, he's caught up. So Verstappen's about 2 seconds a lap quicker. He's also amazingly quick on a straight line thanks to DRS, and I think we could potentially lose 4th place. No, we've just got past Max Verstappen. Hamilton's won the Grand Prix, no surprise there. Kimi and Valtteri both did brilliant strategies, and you know, the one stop worked beautifully for them. Kimi's going to take 2nd, Bottas 3rd. That's good in the Constructors' Championship for Bottas to finish 3rd. What Williams would ideally want right now is 3rd and 4th. That's going to be much better than 3rd and 5th. And also, you may have just noticed a flash of red in the background. Vettel caught up in the last couple of laps. So I was looking pretty comfortable in 4th. Well, no, because I could soon finish in 6th, but coming around the last corner, I've just about been able to hold off Max Verstappen and Sebastian Vettel to finish 4th this Grand Prix. Super driving, honestly, I would, I kind of agree with that too, in a way. I mean, this is just a replay of Lewis Hamilton winning the Grand Prix, so well done to Lewis there, winning the American Grand Prix. But, I mean, super driving, I'll tell you who drove a super race, and that is, Lewis Hamilton. Rosberg didn't, 9th place. I mean, fair enough, he had car issues for the first 5 laps, but that's, just over a 6th of the Grand Prix. That's, you know, but, Hamilton did well, can't fault his drive. Kimi and Valtteri both did brilliant strategies, and I think what that shows is that if Sebastian Vettel didn't spin off at the start, if he wasn't taken out by Bottas, I reckon it would easily be Vettel instead of Bottas on the podium. So essentially, Bottas taking out Vettel gave Bottas a podium, and there's no penalty for that, which is very interesting decision by Charlie Whiting, considering the implications it's had. But anyway, Hamilton, Raikkonen, Bottas, myself, Verstappen, Vettel, Button, Ricciardo, Rosberg. How Button beat Rosberg, I'll never know, honestly. And Ricciardo. Ricciardo didn't even do anything this Grand Prix. That's like the first time I've mentioned his name. But anyway, yeah, drivers' standings. Thankfully, Rosberg finishing in 9th means I'm 21 points ahead, but Hamilton 33 behind. I mean, Hamilton's closing up quickly. 33 points, that's substantial, but not... I mean, there's 3 Grand Prix left. At that rate, I mean, I'm finishing 4th. Hamilton won it. At that rate, he's going to be dangerously close. Constructors' Championship, no changes once again. There hasn't been any changes in that for quite a while now. And as always, it's a foregone conclusion that Williams are going to finish in 2nd and Mercedes are going to win it. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment down below. And next time, it's a Grand Prix which I'm really looking forward to. Partly because I like the track and partly because it's going to play to the Williams' strengths perfectly, and that is the Mexican Grand Prix at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. So I'll see you guys then.